Okay, it says we're live. Let's see. We need to go to YouTube real quick, turn on the volume. Just. Alright, very good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. And today we are going to be working on another page. Had to kind of park it for this project yesterday because exhaustion was kicking in. Plus, I'm working on another project in the process, so I gotta kind of choose my poison per day. And yeah, the other one has definitely got a lot more excuse me, advanced like poses and stuff like that. So it's definitely testing my knowledge. But yeah, don't worry, I'm taking care of myself. I'm not trying to hurt myself or like overwork myself. So yeah, we're just gonna be working on this page today, and I'm gonna take a wild guess that judging by how much detail I'm seeing, this will probably take us about an hour and a half at max. It's not too much work. It is, but it is some work. Is the best way to put it. So, hopefully everyone's having a great day, a great morning with their families and all that stuff. Happy December. And oh, I've got my coffee. And yeah, we're just gonna hopefully get this done in a decent amount of time. So what we're basically doing is we're in the middle of doing basically a revised version of uh the comic, the rough version of the comic that I've already done. I finished that a while ago. So this is basically the step where we go through. This is the step where we go through every page, trace back over to give it a cleaner look, and fix things that might be problematic that were not noticed in the first round. So hopefully that's not the case, and we can just get this done real quick. And from looking at it, I don't really see anything like noticeably like off by any means. The only thing I can really see that might be a problem, in my eyes at least, is her nose, because her nose goes way out. But I've seen other art styles, like I've done my research. I've really been researching a lot of like manga styles and stuff like that. And there are styles where the nose goes like very far out from the face. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, nor does it look too off. So I don't feel it's necessarily a too big of a problem. So yeah, I think we're okay there. Other than that, I really don't see anything else that's problematic or an issue. So I think we're good just keeping this draft. So I guess we just go with it, guys. So hopefully everyone's having a great day, a good morning, and enjoy the show. Is my pen on? Yes, it is. Oops. Oh. Yeah, this is from working on stuff last night. Am I on the... Yes, I'm on the pen. Gotta go down to 2.0. Alright. Let's do her. Oh, am I on the wrong track? Yes, I am. I'm on the wrong track. I need to do this. Hello, Raging Turtle Gaining? Wow, that's a name. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a great morning or afternoon for some people if you're from a foreign country. Whoops. Also, if anybody has questions or anything like that regarding like, anything that I've drawn or whatever, You're more than welcome to ask questions, and I'll see if I can answer it as best I can. Just keep in mind, I am not necessarily any professional. I have only been doing art for about a year, so it's definitely like, I'm not the most, legit source, but I can share some knowledge. Oh, and while it's on my mind, if you are interested in this project that I'm working on, then please go to my most recent post on YouTube, as in like a community post, and take a look at it because it does regard this project and it does play into like I want to know your guys' thoughts on like the format that I should use because I don't know if my audience wants this in either a fully colored version or black and white, kind of like a manga. And I've been doing my research, and honestly, either is fine with me, but one will definitely take longer than the other. Like the black and white with like just light shading, that'll take way less time. Fully colored, that'll probably take uh I would probably say a month and a half at max to probably get fully like done. That's just a it's a rough guess, but yeah, that seems about pretty close to how long it would take. Because given I'm doing a comic right now for my DeviantArt that is fully colored, yeah, it's definitely way more work than if I were to just do light shading. Like I'm getting a feel of basically both styles at the same time. Oops. Is that curved? No, it's just a bed line. Okay, let's just try that. What does purple ribbon on my profile picture mean? Oh, that is actually the ribbon that represents epilepsy because I am an epileptic. So I support epilepsy awareness because yeah, I have one of the rarest cases. Been dealing with it since I was 11 years old. I'm currently 31 years old. So 21 years or 20 years. Bleh. Sorry guys, I'm not fully awake. Hello, I love I cannot Muichiro Kuya 2025. My god, I am so sorry if I butchered that. Butchered. Sorry guys. Like I said, not fully awake. Okay, let's back that up just a little bit. This process is all just about going line by line, very, very slowly, very, very carefully. No rush whatsoever. Pretty clean. Looks pretty good to me. Whoops. Nope, that's off. Yeah, that's all right. The inner pupil. Nope. Like, I've definitely been doing my research, trying to figure things out on how to make this the best it possibly can be. And I've learned quite a few things, and that really, if you're going to just basically do this kind of style of thing, it's literally like there is so many ways to do it. Like I've seen so many different kinds of styles. Some are more like expressive, like with their text styles and stuff like that, while some are very subtle and very simple. Like I've been checking out manga dubs, I've been checking out comic dubs just to figure out, a good idea of how to make this the best it possibly can be. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really enjoying the journey. God, I can't talk today. Okay, there's panel one. Okay, next. Two. Okay, so this has a little bit more detail than the other ones. But yeah, like I said, if you want to ask any questions or anything like that, just feel free to ask, and I'll try to see if I can answer them. But like I said, if it's art related, I am no professional, so I don't know. But if you have any questions or like want to know how I drew a certain thing or whatever, then just ask me, and I'll do my best to answer. Come on. Okay, this line's bugging me. Is that good? Yeah, that'll work. Ugh, itchy. Like this is definitely giving me some good practice with like things like poses, expressions, angles, things like that. It's definitely taught me a lot. Not to mention, I've also learned with a comic book, like with a comic style, you have to kind of simplify things. You don't always have to like fully draw something. You can really simplify it and get away with a lot, which is good. I don't really want to stress myself out. But the hardest part about making a comic to me, honestly, is just really getting the visual, like visualizing certain scenes onto paper, or paper, excuse me, onto the canvas, which is not necessarily the easiest thing for some certain scenarios. And some of those and the scenes that I find the hardest with that kind of ideal is like scenes where the character is like monologuing or like talking to the viewer, pretty much. Some stuff is actually really difficult to, get correct. Ugh. Just gonna have to go one line at a time. Like I've already learned things and plan to do some different things, like some things different in the next episode of this because I am planning to take this like project full. Like I'm not going to stop at episode one. I am going to take it to the full maximum because I really want to start breaking out of the same cycle of stuff that I've been doing on my channel for nearly a decade. So yeah, it's time to make a change. Like I want to start doing like what's going on here? I see. like I want to start doing some original work, kind of pushing myself out there to like, show that I can do like stuff and not have to use a third party to do it. And while it is a lot of work, I think it's worth it because it really, really gives me a lot of experience. Teaches me a lot of things. Because I am a new artist who's just trying to get better. And what's the better way and what's the best way to learn? As much experience as possible. I don't know if that's actually connected. Let me just like a boink. Like one angle that I've really gotten a lot of excuse me, a lot more like practice with is definitely like side angle and like a back angle. Because there's a lot of that. Like it is so much, it is used a lot in like anime settings. Mainly for dramatic effect or whatever. Because another thing I wanted to do was just feel like I'm not, quote unquote, copying another person's style. I want to also create my own style. And one style that I prefer to do, because, well, it's easier, is like close ups of like things like the eyes, the mouth, rather than having to like draw the full character to get the point across. And I've seen this in a lot of animes, like where they just like close up on the eye. Ugh. Not just in animes, just cartoons in general too. Cartoons, movies, they'll like zoom in on the eye because the eye is a very expressive part of the face and it really tells the emotion of the character a lot. So the eyes really help to tell the story. And that's one thing that I really find myself doing a lot more than not is that kind of style. And if I don't have to draw a full body and can just draw the eyeball, then yeah, you bet your ass I'm gonna do it. 10 times easier. Like, will there be like some stuff that doesn't look right? Absolutely, there will be. But I've seen that even in like other people who have done like manga dubs and stuff like that. Like there was one that I watched. Oh, hello, Omar. Yay, yay, yay. Omar was. I am sorry. Was Wasim Y1E. Withdrawing, please shout out me if I saw this. W drawing, please shout out to me if I saw this. I'm not sure what that means, but hello there, Omar. I hope you are having a great morning or afternoon if you're from a foreign country. But okay, what was I? What was I just? But yeah, okay, yeah, there will be things definitely like some poses and stuff like that that I struggle with. You're gonna see that are definitely not gonna look like accurate completely. But the point is, because I watched a video, like I've really been doing my research big time to figure out, the best possible way to make this well done correctly without like pissing people off. And one thing that I came across, and this is actually from someone who actually does manga, like a professional, how they learned to do manga, and keep in mind, this is someone who is a pro. They've had one of their ones, adapted to an anime. I don't remember the actual anime that they were adapted. It probably got a weird ass fuck name, but how they got to their point was they just kept trying, and not stopping. And honestly, that's the best thing you can do. Put yourself out there. Eventually, you'll find someone who's interested in your thing, and who knows? That person might be someone who wants to turn your thing into something bigger. Maybe they'll see it as like a potential opportunity for something that can be, big. Do I expect that to happen with this project? Absolutely fucking not. But hey, you never know. You never ever know. So yeah, I'm not perfect with everything. The poses, and there's like certain poses and stuff. Like there's another one that I'm doing right now that requires a lot of like specific poses. And oh boy, it's tested my knowledge for sure. It has definitely tested my knowledge. Because there was one where I had to draw a girl basically taking off a t-shirt, and I'd never done that pose before. And the hardest part about it was making her hands look like they were actually gripping the clothing to make it look like there's actually no like friction there. That was the hardest part. And does it look a little off? Yes. But does it sell exactly what it's supposed to be? Enough. Yes, it does. It most certainly absolutely does. You can tell exactly what's going on, what she's supposed to be doing, and that's really the biggest factor with any scene is like you're supposed to sell exactly what the character is doing or what they're supposed to be doing. What is that? Oh, it's a hair strand. If you can tell like what they're doing, then there's nothing wrong with it. Like, and that's one thing I've learned with like comics and stuff. It doesn't need to be like a masterpiece. It just needs to sell exactly what it's supposed to represent. Otherwise, you're going to be probably killing yourself trying to make it look good. Okay, where are we? I can't tell if that's just a mistake or if that's actually something. Let me look at that a little more closer. It looks like a mistake. So just do something like that. And really, all I'm aiming for with this is just telling a story. That's really all I'm aiming for. Telling a story visually and getting the point across with every scene. As long as you can tell what's going on, that's all I care about. And doing this will help me to get better, and eventually those poses will get better, and with more practice and more practice and more practice, eventually it'll evolve, and yeah, I'll get much better at it. That's how it was with drawing bodies for me. Like trying to learn how to draw the human body. Holy crap! It was a journey. Like one thing I can draw better is definitely the female body. I can definitely draw females way better than males for a certain reason. But males, to me, for some reason, my brain immediately just it turns off. Like males to me are just weird. Like, keep in mind, and yes, I am a male, so it's weird to me, like how I can't draw my own gender. But it makes sense. I've been drawing females longer, so learning how to draw guys is much more of a new thing for me. And it's not that their bodies are hard to draw or anything. It's the muscle structure because there's so much difference to men than to women. Women are much more, curvy and like wide than men. Men are much more stocky, muscly, and I suck at muscles. Like I cannot draw muscles for shit. You know, they're even though the arm muscles and stuff like that, all you have to do is just kind of draw like curved lines and stuff to kind of give the arms just more definition. But yeah, definitely not gonna be perfect at everything, but as long as it looks good enough, that's all that matters to me. All right, let's see. I swear I went over that. So I apologize for my chair being a noisy bitch. It's just a noisy bitch. I need to get a new chair. Because this chair is, one, not comfortable, and two, noisy. So when I try to record stuff, yeah, I have to hold as still as a statue in order to avoid this thing just going like it just makes the most amount of noise. Like if I move even the slightest inch, I'm like just moving. That's all I'm doing. Just moving a slight inch, boom. Then my chair just starts making racket. And for those who aren't aware, you do not want noise in your recordings. You want your recordings to have as little background noise as possible. Okay. Oh, her eyeball. Forgot about her eyeball. But yeah, just through studying and researching how to do this kind of stuff, I've learned that really it's just pick your poison, pick your style, there's not just one specific style to it. You can literally be like crazy. You can use your imagination. And I like that there is some form of creative freedom. Oop, shit. I didn't mean to do that. There's creative freedom because you can literally like go the full 9 yards. If you want to just do something crazy, you can do something crazy. And personally, I like I've only done one comic in my entire life. So I like to be expressive with like the text. I like to be like I like some comedy to be in there. I don't like to have to put like every single detail of what's happening into it because that's just a shit ton of work. And I'm only one person. Like I have to simplify a lot. I have to simplify so much because otherwise I'm going to lose my mind. Like you truly don't understand just how much work goes into these kinds of things until you become an artist yourself. Like until you actually do the craft, you do not understand. Like before I'm like, why can't people just make their own comics if they're an artist, Like I was like that. Now I get it. Because I know how much effort goes into making one art piece. All the processes, the shading, the lighting, depending on if you want to take it that far. And shading is one of the most egregious things in any art piece because it takes a while. So I get it now. I understand exactly why artists don't like to usually do their own art and stuff. Because it's a lot of time consumption, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of stress. But that's why I'm really just kind of being easy and trying to keep myself at a 1 page per day kind of ratio with some breaks in between because I don't have to rush necessarily. It's good to keep myself from, exhausting, from me exhausting myself and from potentially causing myself, mental issues. Because that's one thing I've learned a lot about that happens to like people who make manga. Sometimes they overwork themselves and it causes them like depression, anxiety, dislike for what they do, stuff like that. And I don't want that to happen, so I'm being very careful with how I go about this. Okay, new folder. And that's why it's good to take a break in between. Like if there's a day where you do not want to do something like this, then don't do it. Do what you want to do. Like do what you want to do that day. because forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, I've known people who will do art that they don't want to do because it's just payment, like it's money. And I'm like, I don't agree, but that's you. Like, you be you, but yeah, that's not worth it to me. That is just a recipe for absolute disaster. And I've been there before. Like, there was some stuff that people like I went through this phase of getting requests on DeviantArt, and there was some weird ass ones, I'm not gonna lie. There was some weird stuff. And there was one that I did that was just straight up like outside my comfort zone, and but I did it because I wanted to get my name out there. And well, it's not even a very, popular thing on my DeviantArt. So, but I did get a lot of experience out of it, so there is a positive that came out of it. It was just a matter of, you know, learning, because you learn from your mistakes. And that was a mistake. I shouldn't have ever made that one, but whatever. It is what it is. We can't go back in time, so move on, learn from your mistake. Like, this person pushed so many buttons that were uncomfortable. Like, things that I didn't find morally good, like, it was just wrong, and it was against everything that I was, as a person. So now I've learned how to put my foot down, and I also just didn't like making requests. It was too stressful, it was too much work, and it was too much for free, if you get my drift. Like, there was one piece that was just straight up ridiculous. Too lots of details. Like, it wasn't morally like disgusting or anything like that. It was just a lot. It was a lot for free. Like, this character basically was an OC of theirs that was a combination of like what felt like over a billion different like characters from different things all mushed into one person. So there was a lot of details. And this one took forever. It took forever. It took me like a day and a half to finally get it done. And the person even wanted more details in between the time when I was sending like rough sketches and stuff. And I told him, dude, make up your damn mind, or I'm not even doing it. And that's where you got to really put your foot down. You've got to put your foot down, and you've got to let them know, hey, I have I have a limit. And that's basically what I told him. I told him, dude, this is already a lot for free, so you better start treating me with some respect, because I'm not gonna just do everything to your whim. And I told him flat out, if you want that, then I'm going to have to charge you. I'm gonna have to charge you like starting at like a low price. And well, they didn't want to do that, so they just basically accepted what I gave them. But yeah, it was good experience, but yeah, I just didn't enjoy anything about requests. It was just too much work. It was too much stress, and I'd rather just make my own stuff. Hence why I'm doing this. Because I love creating content. Content creation is something I really enjoy. So that's why I'm implying it into my work. That I feel confident enough that it actually is, to a point where it doesn't look like shit, and it actually looks like it's pretty well made. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's worth it. Whoops, I pushed undo again. it's not going to be perfect, that's for sure, but nothing's ever perfect. And that's one thing you always got to remember as a content creator. You can try to make your content perfect, but it's never going to be perfect. And one thing I've really been doing with my content over the past like 3 or 4 years is making it more like my age kind of things. Like I'm 31. And I want to do stuff that is, more suited for like mature audiences because it's stuff I like to do more. Like I love horror, I love suspense, I love fucked up shit. I love it. I love the stuff that just makes you emotionally affected. That to me is the shit that hits the hardest. And that is the stuff that I love to make the most. Like the one I just did, Return to Bears Lakers. That was a trilogy, and yeah, it was straight up a freaking screwed up story that was just endless dread, but I loved it. And so did my fan base. They loved it. Was it a lot of work to get done? Oh yeah. It was an emotional roller coaster. And this story kind of carries similar themes to that, but not exactly. These are all my own characters now, and I'm going for something as original as I can make it. This was an idea I kind of came up with. It's been on the back burner for quite a while. I just haven't been confident enough to make it into something, if you get my drift. Because there's also that like factor of like self-doubt, like you're like, oh, I don't know if my people are, if people are gonna like this or not, or if it's good enough. What is this? Just wondering. Hello, Dave FC3PX. Sorry, that might be the YouTube name it just gives you. This is as it says in the title, it's a comic that I'm working on for my YouTube channel. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, I'm doing what I want to do now, and I think I'm at that point in my YouTube career where I can really start doing what I want to do. I feel comfortable. I have enough, followers to really engage. Like, I know this is not going to be everyone's thing. I know that. I know that 100% it's not going to be everyone's thing. It's not probably going to be the highest viewed thing on my channel. But it's something that I am going to enjoy making, and I love it. But I am putting like shit into it that is going to like reflect to my to my audience, because my audience loves things like horror, grimdark, screwed up storytelling, stuff like that. And nobody likes change, but I'm not trying to change my content too much. But I do want to try and start doing like more advanced things. I want to try and like advance my stuff rather than just being like the person who's just behind the mic telling the story. I want to be engaged in the story. I want to show people, what I can do with my characters. Okay, let's see. I can just cover that in. And honestly, it really is just a matter of like, it's a risk you take. Any project you make, you're taking a risk as a content creator. You try different ideas, you try different like things, yeah, you're taking a risk. But as long as you personally enjoy it, as long as you as the creator are enjoying making it and don't find it fun, then it really shouldn't matter. You'll get the people who are going to come across it. It could take years, But eventually someone will find your thing and will go, I like this. Because there's someone out there for everything. There is someone out there for everything that you make. Well, not everything, but for something that like one person doesn't like, there always is someone who is gonna like it. And my audience is really super supportive. Like I'll like make a post and I'll be like, hey guys, this is not gonna be everybody's thing, but I want to try something new, and my audience will be like, hey dude, do what you want. We'll support you no matter what. Like that's my audience in a nutshell. That's exactly what they're like. They're like, dude, do what you want to do. We'll support you regardless. Like even if it's not their thing, they recognize the hard work that's put into it. And while they don't like it, they because so much effort and hard work is put into it, they'll give it a shot, and if they like it, then they'll support it. And even if they don't like it, they'll still support it because they're supporting me as the creator and the many people that are on the project. And this is one of those projects where I'm taking a risk, but you know, I just kind of want to do what I want to do. I've been wanting to do comic stuff for a long time. Like I've been wanting to try comic style, but I didn't really know when to start is the thing. Because I didn't have the expertise. I had no idea what I was doing. I couldn't draw. So, now that I can draw decently enough, I feel I feel it's the perfect time to start. To try something like this. It's definitely been a thing. It's definitely been a lot of work. But I don't even think we're to the hard work yet. Like this is a lot of work, but it's more therapeutic because I find art like therapeutic. It's much more therapeutic to me than it is stressful. The only time it gets stressful is if I'm like trying to draw something and I can't like, draw it, and I've been like drawing it for like a freaking hour. Like there's some poses where it's just like that and you're like, "Oh my god, I want to die. Please just let this work." And yeah, there's been plenty of days like that. Oh, forgot our pupil. And in my opinion, as long as there's love put into it, it's worth a try. And who knows? Maybe if it doesn't work on YouTube, I might try to, do something with it in real life. Like maybe turn it into like a actual comic series and sell it. Who the hell knows? Because I know there's someone out there who's going to like this. Someone is going to like a story about, a monster world, like where characters are basically living in a very fucked up, like, setting, tragic. Like, if people can read over 1,000 chapters of One Piece, then they can definitely get into this. I still don't know how the hell there's 1,000 chapters to an anime, but that's fucking crazy. That like just blows my mind. That there's 1,000 chapters to it. That's nuts. I can't even imagine making something that big. The highest I've ever gone in terms of chapter content is it was the Bonding of Ice and Lightning. And the Bonding of Ice and Lightning was, I believe, 32? Like 32 chapters long? And even that one was a lot of work. Which that was a Genshin, like that was my first like delve into like trying something different with like anime style. Actually, no, technically that was As Fate Would Have It, which was based off of Honkai Star Rail. Then there was then it was onto the Bonding of Ice and Lightning, which was much bigger, but something that I knew could like work because one of my favorite ships in Genshin Impact is Gonching. I love Ganyu and Kuching as a couple, even though they're totally polar opposites. But hey, opposites attract. And that was just kind of the gateway to like, could I do this? That was when I was even like drawing like things, but it was more so just like trying to find like a new ground. And some people like that one. Like it does have views on it. Is it high? No. But I expected that because it's definitely not everyone's thing. My channel has revolved around MLP for almost a decade, so it makes sense. Because as a content creator, you've got to have common sense. You've got to have common sense that, not everything not everything you do is everyone's cup of tea. That's just a fact. But there is always someone who is going to like your content. It could take years before someone notices it, because we all know YouTube's algorithm is goddamn dog water. But eventually, someone will find it, and who knows? Maybe that one like, they'll share it to like, a Discord group or something, and boom, you'll see it like spike. Like I remember when I was still doing requests for like art and stuff, one art piece was the one that opened the floodgates. And I don't know how it opened the floodgates, but it opened the damn floodgates. And it was a drawing of someone's OC, Tanya J. Jackson or something like that. And all they wanted was the character, in their usual uniform, but they're kind of like holding their shirt up a little bit, exposing the ab area. And that piece, for some reason, opened the entire floodgates. I don't know why it did, because it did. And my only assumption is that this person has like a Discord server, because their DeviantArt account, it has a lot of followers. So they probably have like, a Discord or something where they shared it or something like that. And boom, that's what opened the floodgates. But you see, that's what can happen. Someone can see your art as like something amazing, and maybe they're like, this person should get a lot more, publicity, or a lot more, exposure. So they'll be like, hey guys, let's give this guy some, stuff. Like, let's get this guy some, what's the word? Exposure. And then bam, 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 you're getting requests out of the gate, which was really overwhelming for me, because I hadn't even been doing art for 1 year at that point. I was still a total noob, trying to learn how to just draw simple things like, poses and hands and the chest, stuff like that. Like I was still getting my bearings. So for someone to just do that was amazing. And I have a feeling that is just what happened, because the person does have a lot of followers, and who knows, that could have just been their way of saying thank you. Because they did end up coming back to me and wanted me to draw their OC again in a swimsuit. And so I did. And I don't know if it opened the floodgates again, but I do remember I was getting a lot of requests after that, so it probably did. And they and the last time they requested me was when they wanted me to draw one of their other OCs, which is a male. They want me to draw them, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to lie to you. It's probably best you go to someone else for that, because I suck at males. Because I didn't want to disappoint them. Not to mention, it just got to a point of where I felt I just couldn't do things for free anymore. Like, I had to start expanding, I had to start trying different things, and couldn't just put my efforts and time into free stuff. I had to break from that. So I did. And I just found requests too stressful, especially when I've got other shit to get done on my YouTube channel and stuff. So, yep, that was a chapter. That was a learning process. It was a curve of trying to just figure out, do I like this? Do I like that? And so far, I am really, really enjoying making comics. I am honestly enjoying it. Like, this is fun. I find this so fun because it is different. It's totally different from what I usually did. It's like a totally different kind of way of telling a story. And that's where it's really like interesting to me because how to interpret some of these scenes. I missed that completely. How to interpret some scenes is really tricky. Like, you really have to use your brain. You have to think outside the box. And if I really can't think of how a certain scene should be, what I'll do is I'll look up references. I'll immediately go to, like, well, where the professionals like see things, like how to interpret like certain like silly things that you know I can't picture in my mind. Like, there's one part in this one where I had no idea how to put this. But then I thought a little bit outside the box, kind of looked back into my childhood of like watching cartoons and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, I could just do something like that, like kind of a paradox kind of thing, like back and forth. And again, that's just where you got to kind of use your mind a little bit, use your imagination, and figure it out slowly but surely. Because one thing you can't do is rush. Rushing is the worst thing that you can do. Because a rushed product, it's not going to end well. We've seen this so much in like Hollywood stuff. Like Hollywood movies, we've seen it. Did it end well? Absolutely not. All those Halloween sequels, all of those uh, night, bleh, Nightmare on Elm Street like sequels and shit, those were all rushed. That was a rush to demand from Hollywood. And how did those turn out? Silly, rushed, plot holes galore, and that's what happens with rushed writing. You get your plot holes, you get your mistakes. It turns into a laughing stock rather than a horror movie. And that's why you never, ever rush. That happened with me in RTBAA. Like, there was a point in RTBAA Part 3 where I was like, oh shit, how do I carry on from here? Like, getting from point A to point B, that was the hardest part. So I asked my mom for help because my mom was very passionate about it. She loved the series. So I'm like, let me ask someone who, sees the same vision that I see and see what they can come up with. And less to say, hang on a second. Could I add some, like, well, let me get rid of this. Could I, maybe ask someone, who sees the same vision that I see, whoa, and see what they think? And lo and behold, my mom was the one that saved it. She was the one that saved the series and allowed me to get it done in time. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, forgot to name it. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. It took, and my mom, bless her, she really helped to get that project out in time. It's partially because of her that that project was put out in time. And I can't thank her enough for helping me to get past that lull that I was stuck in because yeah, it was a lot. because I didn't want to disappoint my audience. But if my brain can't figure these things out, then my brain can't figure these things out. So I went to someone else, asked their opinion, and my mom managed to come up with like this idea of like something that would allow me to like get past that writer's block. And lo and behold, it was out in time. It's a lot of work and was pretty much down to the last like minute for sure. Because I remember I finished part 3. It was, I think I had a week left because I was working on Inktober as well at the same time. God, that was a mistake. But somehow, some way, I managed to get it all done in the same month. Mainly because I got started on Inktober early, which is not against the rules, by the way. And Inktober was also a huge thing that allowed me to like gain a lot of confidence in my artwork, because there was some submissions in that one that were ridiculous. That angel, that fucking angel, that flippin' angel. Like there was a lot of pieces where I had to use my brain a little bit. I had to figure out, how can I make this work? How can I make this work? And my favorite one is still my screensaver on my phone. Screensaver. My background. That's what I meant to say. It's my background. And I love it. It's the hashtag vampire one because I love how I got the shading style correct. It's like because she's a vampire, I wanted like a red kind of tint to the shades. Like one of my rules with Inktober was grayscale only. But this one I wanted to give red because it fit. Because vampires drink blood, blood is red, blah, 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 blah. You get it. And it was such a cool effect. Basically, the shading was just reds and different shades of reds. Was it hard to get correct? Absolutely. I remember I had to go through like many instances of just trying to figure out how to do certain things, trying different shades of red over and over again. And eventually it worked out. And I love how it came out. It's still my favorite. I love it. From her eyes being like so piercing and like slightly like dangerous. Like I love that effect so much that I even applied it to another piece that I did later on, which was the hashtag corruption one. And basically it's Rappy from from Nike, Goddess of Victory, getting corrupted by a rapture. And that one was hard. It was very, very difficult. But it was such a cool effect because red eyes equals like corruption or evil in a nutshell. So it was just fun to do it and try like a different kind of perspective. Plus, it fit the whole theme and fit very well with what I was supposed to be drawing. So yeah, it definitely opened my mind up to a lot of things and really gave me the confidence to make this. Like I basically looked at myself and said, "Yep, it's time. It's time. This is the next project. We're going to do it. We're going to make it work." Like I said before, I know it's not going to be everyone's thing. It's not going to be like as popular as the pony stuff. I know that. I 100% know this. But that don't matter to me because I'm doing this for myself, to advance myself, to try different things, to give myself like experience in different kinds of styles, because it advances my art skills. It allows me to experiment with a lot of things. Sure, it's a lot of work, but I feel, it's really good for like, advancing myself as a content creator and as an artist. And considering how much I love drawing, like like I said before, artwork is just an escape for me. It's a therapeutic thing. I love doing it because it's therapeutic, it's relaxing, unless there's something that's just giving me a bunch of shit. And it's cool because I never thought I would be able to draw for a fucking day in my life. Like, I honestly thought I had no art skills. But here I am. Like, just learning that I was capable of being able to draw, something like this was mind boggling to me because never in my mind would I have thought it. But but there is a picture, like a drawing, that I did of our old African gray, who unfortunately was put down because he had a. Oh, that's teeth. That's why it's throwing me off. He passed away because um, he accidentally broke his leg and couldn't support himself anymore, so he was basically slowly starving to death. So we had to put him down. But there was one day, I don't remember how old I was. I was like, well, if that was like 20, like 13 or so, yeah, I was young. So yeah, I was still young. I had long before any of this. And this is still hanging on our fridge. I drew, I looked over at his cage because it was in the kitchen, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and draw this bird. I'm going to try and draw this bird. And the results of it is freaking fantastic. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I managed to make it look as good as it did, but I did it. And it looks accurate. Like, you can tell this is an African gray parrot. And this is hand drawn, so that boggles me even more. But that's because, well, I didn't have to match any eyes. I didn't have to, like, mirror anything. Like, that's the part of traditional where I'm just stuck. I cannot match for shit. And that's why I like digital art over traditional any day. Because I can just grab something and just mirror it by just copy paste. But this picture, I look at it and I'm like, wow, this looks really good. How did, what was going through my mind that day that made me produce something so good? Like, how did this get as good as it did? And honestly, I think that's just because I tried. Like, I actually put real effort into it, focused, put my mind on it, and made it the best that I possibly could. I remember it took me a while to draw it. I don't remember exactly how long, but it took a while. Like, if I had to take a wild guess, it probably took me about easily 2 hours. But the detail on it, like the feathers, everything, are it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts how detailed it is. Like, I drew all the feathers and everything, and it just boggles me how good it looks. So I knew I had an art bone in my body. I just needed to sit the fuck down and learn. And this is why I think anybody, anybody can draw. If they really try, people can draw. There's no excuse for it. I truly do believe that people, anybody, can pick up a pencil and if they really put their mind to it, can learn how to draw. Because, most people, like, for a head would start out with something like, would start out with something like, say, this. That's how they would start by drawing a head. But no, a head would actually be more like that kind of thing. You go with guidelines and stuff. Like, learn how to follow guidelines and stuff, and you can literally draw anything. It's nuts. And I know there's some people who just don't have the confidence at all, but I truly do think anybody can draw. If you know how to draw a circle, Like, if you know how to draw circles, if you know how to draw a curved triangle, if you know how to draw a curved line, then you can draw. You can draw. It just takes a lot of practice. And you can just basically apply that into your everyday thing by drawing one thing per day. And that's how I did it. I would sit down and draw one thing a day just to get just to learn how to draw things, and that's how I learned how to draw the human body. That's exactly how I learned how to draw the human body. Just sit down, try things. Not to mention, I made a comic. That was my first comic, and it was an unsafe for work comic, but it allowed me to learn how to draw poses, how to draw the body at different angles, how to draw things like. It's crazy. I chose one character, and this was for another thing. It was for an art series called Assisting the Secretary, and it involved Ganyu. It was basically an Anon and Ganyu kind of story, but it was a storyline that was told through artworks, and it was hard. It was very flipping hard because I would draw first, then I had to interpret it in no, I would excuse me. I would write it first, like actually write the story first, then I had to interpret it into artwork, which was the hardest part, trying to figure that whole shabacle out. This gave me experience with poses and just learning how to draw the human body naturally. And it was it was a lot, but it was a great like thing just to learn how to do different like poses and stuff. And let me tell you what, once you learn how to draw like one pose with like the arms exposed and stuff like that, you can draw any pose. I'm not joking, you can. It's all about just getting over that mindset of I can't do this. You've got to break that out. Break that no confidence. Like just break out of that box. You got to break past that and then try. You've got to also have a lot of patience. You've got to have a lot of courage with yourself, persistence. And if you just want to like draw for fun, pick up a pencil and learn how to draw. Like seriously, just learn how to draw. It's not that difficult. It actually really isn't that difficult. It's frustrating, but once you get past that mindset of I can't do this and see what you're actually capable of, then that what's the word I'm not looking for? Like that I can't think of what it's called, but that no confidence in yourself feeling, you learn. You learn. You see what you're truly capable of. You're like, I can do this. And then that confidence builds up, and yes, your first drawings are going to be your your first drawings are going to be very very fucking rough. You're going to make mistakes. But if you just keep going and going and going and going and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, eventually you will reach a point where you're like, I did it. I did it. I can do this. And for me, learning how to like draw poses, learning how to draw hands. Even I still struggle with hands. I still struggle with feet. Everybody struggles. There's something that someone struggles with. For me, that's freaking arms, hands. Uh, for back angle, yeah, there's a lot of things like back angle that I struggle with, like the back anatomy, connecting it to the lower areas, like getting it correctly, like put together, is very difficult. Okay, anyways, now I have to focus. But for anybody who's saying they can't draw, you're lying to yourself. Because if you truly do try, you can draw. It just takes a lot of, like, you just got to have the confidence. You need to have the confidence. You have to be able to tell yourself, I can do this. And eventually, you'll get there. Okay. Am I on the right font? I am not. I need to be on this font. And the style needs to be, that's the outside, so we need to put text. Text needs to be white, and the outside needs to be black. Okay, text. Let's see. Okay, what was the last thing she said to her? The last thing she said to her was, I think dragons and microthians are cool too, I believe. Yeah. Thank you. Get ready to hear this sound a lot, guys. Thank you. Actually, no. I'm just gonna put that as a different layer. I didn't click on that. However, how did you know I'm a dragon? I have no features to... I have no features that show... I have no features of one. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is really decrease this. Pen, hello? Okay, what I need to do now is I need to go back to this one. Large size of this. Thank you. However, how did you know that I'm a dragon? I have no features of one. Okay, that's hard to tell right now. You can see her eyebrow. So the emotion is there. It's just really hard to tell. I just don't want it obscuring too much of the visual. Let's see if this might work. I have no features of one to show. Thank you. However, how did you know that I'm a dragon? I have no features of one to show. Okay. Then we need the number. Oh, God, what number are we on? I believe we're on 101. Let me just double check that. Fuck. Didn't mean to do that. It's alright. It's alrighty. It's alrighty. Okay, we gotta go. Red Hill Academy. Red Hill Academy. Right, not there. Not there. There. Last page. Yep, 101. I could put that down here. Yeah, right there's fine. For a minute. For a minute. Okay. Now we're on to, let's call it Brina. Nope, that's not Brina, that's Aquina. Okay, so now I need text again. Okay, the font that I need is this one right here. What to show? Silly lizard. Okay. This is one where I think a text bubble would be needed. So this is probably going to have to be way smaller. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Something more along that line. Okay. Silly lizard. Let me get a different text layer. Sirens are very keen on body temperature. Okay, this is going to be tricky. Size needs to go down. Just can't let it be too small. And dragons. And half human dragons. Good God Almighty. And half dragons usually have a higher, not a heighter, higher one than a regular man, we're really gonna have to make this small. That's okay, that's okay. Alright, so the bubble is probably gonna have to go somewhere like right here. Like right here above her head. Well, let's see. So what I need to do is I need to go here. Hopefully it connects. Yep. Alright, down, 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 down. We need something like this. Okay, that needs to be... Okay, it doesn't matter if it like flings over into the other picture. Something like that, yeah. Okay, text. Now we've just got to order it a little differently. So silly lizard can go like right there. Okay. Torture and half dragons usually drop that. Is that better? Much better. Literally just scrolled down from my live. Oh hey Slider, welcome back. Regular human. You're obvious. Whoops, doodle. You're obvious. Given. Does that fit? Yes. Given you have a high heat signature coming from your you're obvious given that you have a high heat signature coming from your okay 102 why I'm on the wrong font. Oh, that is the right font. Oops. Silly lizard. Sirens are very keen on body temperature, and half dragons usually have a higher one than a regular human. You're obvious, given you have a high heat signature coming from your... Sorry, guys. 10:03. Okay, I remember exactly what she says here. Alright, so that'd be like a gasp. Increase the size a little bit. Drawing my Halloween piece still? Oh, cool. Gasp. I'll put like the other text down here somewhere. Oh. Shit. She's gonna actually no, that would be more like a something like that. Okay, that actually needs to go down a little bit. More. Something more like this. Something like that. 103. pen. Thank you. Okay. Ow, hurt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay, so this is a mix of so we need a grumble, and the font needs to be her font. Actually, no. What I could do is something like font. Do something like that, just to kind of give a different implication. Grumble. Rumble. Didn't I put something for the stomach, like... Not that. Didn't I put something for the stomach, like a curved line or something? Do you have another device open? Yes, I have my phone on. Grumble, rumble. I actually need to double check that. What did I do? Okay, that's page 15. Didn't I put something like a... I did. I put curved lines. So what I need to do is, let's see, that's panel 4, right? Yes, we're on 4. Let's get this correct. Then up here. Nope. Not pointed. Something like that. Okay. Grumble, rumble. Okay, back here. I'm using my phone to draw and my tablet for chat. Nice. Sounds very similar to what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. We need grumble, rumble. Guess we could put her, like, gasp over here. Let's see. I need text. Definitely needs to be bigger than that. Something like that. Okay. Alright, that's fixed. Now we just go to panel 5. Okay, I know what I'm going to do here. Something like this. The heck? Oh, I see what happened. Just put that there. Okay, now I need a text layer. Okay, size needs to be going down. On that actually would be smart to put up. Nah, that wouldn't be working. That actually wouldn't work because it kind of gets in the way of things that express things. Yeah, it'll be alright. Put... Oh shit, I forgot something. 103, 104. This would be 105. Okay, I need to go back to panel 4 for just a second. Four. Pen. Why? Oh, it's wanting to be a butt. Can I please move this? Okay, really? Okay. Now we gotta go down to the bottom layer, which is this one. Okay, or that size, turn it. Come on. Okay, do not belch. Things go down a little bit. Do not belch. Whatever you do not belch. Come on. currently trying to something the copyright detection AI on my stream just by just saying. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I get that. I completely get that, my friend. I do. I've dealt with that crap too, so I know exactly what that means. Okay, let's see. Okay. 106. Needs to be bigger. Excuse me. I was playing music yesterday and I caught the audio for some and the something melody lyrics for the ones I sang to. Yep, completely. Yep. Yep, that's what we call YouTube bullshit. That's exactly what we call it. I was playing music yesterday and I caught audio for some and then the melody lyrics for the ones I sang to. Okay. Now we just need to add the last bit of text. Then add some effects. Where's that? Keep your friends close page. We are on, I believe, 16. We are on page, can you please see? 16, yep. Okay, let's lower that size quite a bit. All right there. Pen, why are we being a butt today? Can we not be a butt? All right. Now we just need to add some text effects. So for this one, definitely we want to give this a drop shadow. Just gotta find drop shadow first. Right there. Okay, that one's fine. Panel 3 is fine. 4 is okay too. About 5. Six. Yep, that'll work. Feel like I'm forgetting something though. Let me just read this over again. Thank you. However, how did you know I'm a dragon? I have no features of one shell. Silly lizard, sirens are very keen on body temperature, and half dragons usually have a higher one than a regular human. You're obvious, given you have a high heat signature coming from your gasp. Oh shit, she's gonna. Yeah. What the hell? My stomach's on fire. Do not belch. Whatever you do not belch. Yep, that definitely fits. Though I think, okay, panel 2, I do think this does need a back drop. just so it's a little easier to read. Okay. Still feel like I'm missing something. Still feel like I'm missing something. What would I be missing? Either that or I'm just overthinking. I said about 2 hours. That feels pretty good. What kind of music do you like? I like a lot of music. I don't. Mainly, my go tos are like metal and rock kind of stuff. Those are my go tos, but I like basically almost any kind of music, minus modern pop and like hip hop shit. Like early 2000s shit, I'm fine with. Like early and mid 2000s, I'm fine with pop from that era. That era was goated. I love that shit. But anything after that, fuck, garbage. Sorry, can you repeat that was talking? I said my go-tos are rock and metal, mostly metal, but I like all sorts of music. Like, okay, pop. I don't like modern day. Modern day pop sucks dick. But anything like early mid 2000s or before is great. I love hip hop from that era. I love like pop from those eras. Anymore, dog shit. I like almost any kind of type of music. Any type of music's fine with me, but anything modern rap, modern hip hop, fucking sucks. Anywho, I think we're done for today. Well, with this, anyway. Slider, you're streaming on YouTube, right? I'll come and take a look at your stream because I'd like to get to know you better. If that's fine with you, of course. I do listen to funk every now and then. I know funk is. Personally, not my thing. I think that's like dubstep, metal kind of stuff. Alright, then I'm going to close out this stream and come and watch yours while I work on the other thing. I can explain my music taste there. Okie doke. Alright, well, thanks for joining me, Slider. That actually didn't take that long. That was actually pretty fast. Mainly because I was talking up a storm, trying to just get through it. But yeah, I'll be to your stream here in just a second. And yeah, until next time, have a good day.